Pod Job, a James Bond podcast. My name is Matt Stokes. Who's here with me?
Hey, everybody.
On the old AM dial.
Wade Hemel in the studio.
Welcome
Keeping
to
it warm.
We're pivoting to Morning Zoo. This is a James Bond podcast. We are going to have some up talks into songs. We'll talk as the guitar plays, and then the vocals will come in and we'll be like, stay with us on Pod Job. She was an American girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, what is this? This is Pod Job, James Bond podcast. We go through the James Bond movies. We're going through Thunderball. Fourth one.
That was very efficient.
Thanks.
This is a very efficient way of going through that. Certainly more efficient than I have in me today. I'll be going on at length about anything I'm allowed to. So, Matt, why don't you give us some information?
Okay, Thunderball is the fourth James Bond movie. Wade is a encyclopedic fan of James Bond.
That's true.
And I, love the James Bond movies. A lot of the movies I've only seen once, such as the case with Thunderball. The first three James Bond movies, the first three Sean Connery movies, I've seen lots and lots and lots of times. And what a powerful opening salvo you get with those three movies. And then Thunderball. And when I first saw Thunderball, I was very underwhelmed by it and found it kind of frustrating and boring. And
have you ever been whelmed?
No, never been whelmed. Never. I'm waiting to be whelmed. Always over or under.
Hopefully we'll have some whelming movies later in the series.
But I think it was because I knew it had a big budget, and just like you open on these big three movies, and I think just Sean Connery is held in such high esteem that it's like, oh, the fourth one, that's also got to be great. And my only memory of it was like, boy, we're watching them scuba dive for a long time. Wow. And I have written in my notes, it is a punishing amount of scuba diving footage. You are beaten.
I can't argue
into
with that.
Submission. So you better like it.
It's funny because I always, this is always like the fourth one in the classic group of four that introduces the series.
Okay, that's interesting.
You've got your opening salvo of three, and to me, it was four. It's always been four. Thunderball is in there with the classics for me. Probably I've seen it as many times as I've seen Goldfinger.
That's interesting. Yeah, and it was Terrence Young comes back to direct this movie. He directed Dr. No and From Russia with Love. They switched to Guy Hamilton and then switched back to Terrence Young. So it's like, yeah, it makes sense to group the first four together. And it was one movie every year for the first 4 years. And then they have a 2-year pause till they get to You Only Live Twice as Sean Connery. And I watched You Only Live Twice like a few months ago. And I could tell how like checked out Sean Connery was in that movie. And in Thunderball, I think he's great. He seems like he's having so much fun.
He seems pretty checked in. Although I thought this time around I could sense him starting to pull away a little bit.
Okay, well, you point it out when we get there because.
Oh, I don't have any.
Oh, okay. Well, just in researching this, like he was giving quotes to the press about how sick of all this shit he was. So I was expecting to see it in the performance, and I just felt like I didn't. Like he's at the top of his form in this movie, and he's just such a bitch. This is just high quality bitchery. I have at least one clip of him just being a bitch.
He's there with the one-liners. I mean, like we're 4 films in. We're settled in. We're nice and comfortable. We're finding our groove, and Connery is there with the one-liners,
but not in I guess the only really goofy Connery is Diamonds Are Forever. Then that's where I feel like I remembered so much goofy Sean Connery stuff, and these 5 movies I haven't really seen it. Like goofy and like I don't know where the line is between him being like oh Sean Connery you cad and just being like, oh come on, this is too ridiculous. I don't know what the line is.
The line is there somewhere, and we will cross it.
So you always loved this movie. I watched this movie twice over the past week, and I gotta say the first time I watched it, I felt basically the same. Like it's big. It's a great technical achievement. And I appreciate how they are owning they're owning the excess. Like the tagline of the movie is, this is Bond's biggest movie ever. And it is. Like everything you are seeing on screen is super expensive. Mm-hmm. Like it's a real jetpack that he's flying. They really made a boat separate into 2. They shot underwater for 55 minutes.
The cocoon looks so great when it blows up, doesn't it?
It's incredible. And but this was the first time where I felt like this plot, which is relatively simple, is very difficult for me to follow.
Yes, I agree with that.
even though it's just like, well, they steal some nuclear warheads and they do what Dr. Evil says in the first Austin Powers movie.
Oh, I have so many Austin Powers notes.
Yeah, okay,
like
good.
This one's very very much in the DNA, specifically the first Austin Powers film. There's just a lot of you got the supervillain obsessed with sharks, although they don't have freaking laser beams.
No, but this is a great shark movie, and I love sharks. But he hijacks some nuclear weapons and hold the world ransom. That's exactly what they do in this movie.
They have the well, we'll get to it.
But I think that okay, and then I watched it again last night, and I was way more checked into the movie. It worked much better for me. I still think it's a big step down from the first three movies, but Connery is great. It's a great technical achievement. I really appreciate how big they're going with the action set pieces and even experimenting with things like really fast cutting and speeding up the like the frame rate and stuff.
Yeah, you noticed that too, huh? It's I've always felt a sense of like weirdness and kind of surreality with this movie that and all things being relative, of course, like we're talking about in relation to the first three movies, which were pretty more or less cut and dry spy thrillers.
More stripped down. I mean, this is like watching a Mission Impossible, like a Fast and Furious or Mission Impossible movie today, but in 1965.
Right, where some shots are sped up. A lot of the movie takes place underwater, and even the scenes that don't take place underwater have this weird kind of glazed, filmy, almost underwater feeling to it. So the whole thing just feels really weird to me in a way that I find entertaining and exciting.
Once you know everything that's going to happen, it all like so many movies when you watch them repeatedly. If the story is not totally coherent, you just accept it because you're like, but now this is what happens, and now this is what happens. I think a big problem with the movie though is compared to the first three movies, I think that the supporting cast is a step down. I think Domino is kind of forgettable, and Largo's a kind of forgettable villain. And more than that, everybody's just kind of like visually non-distinct. So I can't really, I lose track of like which woman he's with at any given time.
Well, I mean, that was Goldfinger too. Like which sister is he with? And now we've got the pilot girl, and now we've got
But Pussy Galore was so distinctive, and she talked like this. I'm Pussy Galore.
Well, sure. And I think part of it is the voice dubbing. Domino was dubbed by the same voice actress that did Honey Rider, I believe,
that makes sense.
And at least one of the girls in Goldfinger. So I'll give you that, and it does feel a bit like maybe playing the hits, the main villain who is just so deliciously enjoys being a villain, like Goldfinger, the damsel in distress with the who has this nasty history with the villain of kind of Dr. No-ish vibe.
But he doesn't love being evil like Goldfinger loves being evil.
I don't know. I get that vibe from him.
Okay. I think it being by the numbers is like, I can see why you have to do that if the budget is going way up and we are really emphasizing the spectacle this time. It's probably like you have to kind of play it safer with the story decisions you're going to make. So let's talk about the history of Thunderball. I mean, the saga of Thunderball, very important in the history of James Bond, because this started out with Ian Fleming. While he was, refer back to our Dr. No episode about how he was trying to get a movie adaptation of Bond going for a while, and it was a struggle for him. And in the late 50s, he enlisted the help of a man named Kevin McClory, who was a movie producer and a screenwriter. And he worked as a second unit and assistant director for John Huston, including on movies like The African Queen and Moby Dick, movies that were filmed on water. And actually, he ends up being very instrumental in the water sequences in this movie. He was at one point one of Elizabeth Taylor's many fiancés. But then she left him. He did not go on to become one of her many ex-husbands, but he was involved with her. So, Ian Fleming's like, oh, that's okay. And he partners up with this guy because he's, adjacent to the world of fame and everything. Will you help me get a James Bond movie off the ground? And McClory's like, hey, I like your books, but I don't think any of them would make a good movie. So here's what we should do. We'll write a new screenplay about James Bond. And they write the script for what they call Longitude 78 West, later retitled Thunderball. And they bring along another writer named Jack Whittingham. So they write this screenplay. And in that screenplay, the character of Blofeld is introduced as the leader of Spectre. And McClory's like, you got to think of this in terms of like what's going to look good on the screen. You need a cinematic villain, maybe a guy who pets a cat. Great. Oh, maybe a lot of underwater stuff. Great. Okay. But this never gets put into production. And so Fleming, without telling McClory, just turns it into a novel. And in his book, he makes a book out of Thunderball, doesn't acknowledge McClory and the other guy, Whittingham, as having co-created all the events and characters for this novel.
And this is where the trouble starts?
This is the start of the trouble. So McClory sues Fleming. And as all of this is happening, Fleming is Eon Productions, Cubby Broccoli and Harry Saltzman are getting the Bond series off the ground, and they want to turn Thunderball into the first movie, but it is tied up in litigation. So they have to do Dr. No instead. The case goes to trial in England in 1963, and the court rules like, okay, very clearly, Ian Fleming, you are in the wrong. So he has to acknowledge McClory and Whittingham as co-creators of Thunderball and the events and characters that debut therein, including Blofeld. And the other guys get the film rights to Thunderball, and also all future printings of the novel of Thunderball have to acknowledge them as well. So basically what it amounts to is if Eon Productions wants to make a movie out of Thunderball, they have to do it with working in collaboration with this guy, Kevin McClory.
Do you think Thunderball would have been as good if it had been the first Bond film?
No, I don't.
I don't either. I feel like it needed this. It needed the time for the franchise to bake in the oven and spring forth and spread its wings, and to require. And if nothing else, kind of a budget and scope.
Exactly. If nothing else, they just wouldn't have had the budget to pull off any of this.
Right.
And without the spectacle, this just isn't that interesting a story. Although, I mean, like, how interesting is Dr. No? It's like, oh, a guy has an island. Oh, what's up with that island?
No batshit here.
Yeah, but what makes it great is just Sean Connery bebopping and scatting through the airport and stuff. Maybe it would have been great, but they couldn't have made it like this.
Right. We don't see any bebopping and scatting through the airport. It's all bebopping and scatting along the ocean floor.
Right. We do get him looking through his hotel room for bugs, but it's a bug that he himself planted, I think. It's a tape recorder.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Where did I put that tape recorder?
Oh, in the Bible or whatever. This is just a personal thing. I think in movies that are not military movies, when the military gets involved, I lose interest. And because we have so many scenes in this movie set like in a fighter jet, I'm just like, not James Bond. I like him more just in the civilian world. So maybe that also wouldn't have been a good introduction to him.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And it does kind of get swamped over at the end by just this giant underwater battle scene, which is a lot.
You want to see yourself in the movie. Oh, I could see myself going to a casino or going to the beach, but I can't see myself like flying a NATO squadron.
Right. There's a little chunk, a nice little sweet jelly chunk in the middle where he's wearing all black, running around the compound with the power cut out. And it feels like, an hour in, they remembered, it's a spy movie.
Yeah, he's a spy.
We got to have some espionage in here.
So Thunderball, they want to make a movie out of it, so they have to license it from McClory with the provision that he is brought on as a producer. And this license continues for 10 years. Now, I think that I didn't get confirmation of this, but it makes sense. During that 10-year period, Eon is allowed to use Blofeld in its movies, but after that, they are not. Which is why Blofeld disappears from the movies after, what is it, On Her Majesty's Secret Service?
Diamonds Are Forever.
Diamonds Are Forever. He kills him. Blofeld! Gotta kill Blofeld!
Or does he? because there's that guy who's maybe Blofeld in
So
the 80s.
we'll get to that.
But we'll get to that. Just like we'll get to talking about Thunderball again in about 11 episodes.
When this license expires after 10 years, the rights will revert back to McClory. And when that happens in the early 70s, The Man with the Golden Gun had just come out in theaters and not performed very well. So he said, I want to make another James Bond movie out of Thunderball.
My turn.
And MGM files suit to stop him. They said, you still need permission from Ian Fleming's estate, which is a little dubious, but McClory didn't have the money to fight them in court. So he's just like, fine. So basically he spends the next few years trying to find a partner to just finance a lawsuit for him. In For Your Eyes Only in 1981, they have a character who is obviously Blofeld, who blows up like a damn idiot. And he's credited in the credits as Wheelchair Man.
Right.
And it's like a very clear provocation from Eon and MGM. It's like, we'll use Blofeld if we want, motherfucker.
Uh-huh. We just won't name him.
Finally, in the early 80s, Kevin McClory partners up with a studio with Warner Brothers, gets a ruling from a court that says, like, no, you don't need permission from the Ian Fleming estate. You own the rights to Thunderball. So they remake Thunderball as Never Say Never Again and bring Sean Connery aboard for the unofficial James Bond movie from 1983, Never Say Never Again.
Have you seen that one yet?
Yes,
Matt?
I have.
And what'd you think?
I liked it a lot. I liked it more than Thunderball. And if I had been a better podcast, well, this was 5 years ago. The first
zoo crew can't handle it.
Well, this was 5 years ago when I watched all the movies in order.
Oh, right.
I liked it a lot better than Thunderball. I watched about 30 minutes of it the other night and still liked it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I would feel this time. So I was going to ask you. I mean, what?
I watched it a couple months ago for the first time in years, and it was way more fun than I remember, but I would never, ever put it up against Thunderball.
He's good though. Sean Connery, he just like snaps right back into it.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks old, but
hey, the march of time comes for us all.
and there were things that I remembered happening in Thunderball, or no, that I thought happened in Thunderball that happened in that. I remembered him being at the health spa and opening a briefcase full of caviar, and that's in Never Say Never Again. So I was disappointed when I watched Thunderball. Where's the briefcase of caviar?
The first thing I think of when I think of Never Say Never Again is when he jumps off the wall on that horse. And it's just a long slow motion shot of Sean Connery going, hold on.
I didn't get to that part.
Oh,
I don't remember that happening.
that's the most exciting part.
We will do an episode on that. Between For Your Eyes Only and Octopussy, we will do an episode on that.
You have our words and we are men of words.
The saga of Thunderball, which I think doesn't totally wrap up. They are not allowed to use Blofeld until 2006. They settle finally and buy out the McClory estate of all the Thunderball assets.
Jesus Christ.
So it goes on for a long, long time.
One day we'll have a movie about that.
We should. It's an interesting story. Okay. The first three Bond movies were big, but especially Goldfinger, just a huge blockbuster. So they're like, this is the biggest thing ever. We are going all out. They tripled the budget for Thunderball. They present it as this is the biggest Bond movie. The tagline, here comes the biggest Bond of all.
They're spelling words with numbers. Lou 7K out.
They offer Guy Hamilton the chance to direct, but he says he was worn out after Goldfinger. So they bring back Terrence Young. There's a couple of issues. One, Sean Connery's getting sick of playing James Bond. Here's a quote he told the Daily Mail in 1965. Quote, Thunderball is the best story of them all, really. I've been told not to do voices.
Two voices.
At least not when I read quotes. Thunderball is the best story of them all, really. I think it could be better than the last one, but I can't see the cycle going on past that. Though I am signed to do two more, On Her Majesty's Secret Service and one other. But who knows? America seems to lap them up. My only grumble about the Bond films is that they don't tax one as an actor. I'd like to see someone else tackle Bond, I must say, though I think they'd be crazy to do it. End quote. So yeah, he's like, this is not acting. There's no challenge for this.
Wow.
It's what happens to all people who play in Marvel movies now is when they finally leave. They're like, finally, I can be an actor again.
Right. Kind of a pre-slam, though, on every actor who would go on to play Bond after him, though.
They'd have to be crazy to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that you don't have to have any talent necessarily to do it. But he kind of called it in a way because everyone who followed Connery would have to deal with haters and detractors.
We would have
as
to deal
well as
with
fans.
the specter of him. Yeah.
The specter of the Connery.
I don't think he's saying that you don't have to have talent. I think he's like, if you care about acting, you're going to find that you're not really allowed to really dig into this role, that they keep you on a tight leash. And like, this is what James Bond does. Just go be charming and charismatic. But it's like, I think you find with like these super talented, charismatic people that it probably comes so easily for him that he takes it for granted. Like what you have is a special skill. Like it's not so easy to just like be this like kind of light superstar on screen who you can't take your eyes off of. As we see with George Lazenby, I think.
It has been too long for me since I've seen that one, so I can't comment on Lazenby's performance.
Well, just that, like, okay, you see that maybe the things you take for granted about Sean Connery, there's a reason he's good. The actresses in line to play Domino included Julie Christie and Faye Dunaway, both of whom would have been allowed to use their actual voices, both future Oscar winners. I think it would have been a big improvement. No offense to Domino, but she just doesn't. She doesn't pop for me. Sean Connery.
In a small way, she kind of makes the movie for me, but we'll get there eventually.
Movie had the biggest budget of any Bond movie yet. They put it all on the screen. They want you to know how big of a deal this was, and it was a big hit. It was the biggest. If you adjust it for inflation, this is the biggest James Bond movie of all time.
Still?
32nd, if you adjust for inflation, like it's the 32nd biggest movie of all time, bigger than The Dark Knight and Avengers Infinity War. Goldfinger would be the second biggest if you adjust for inflation. Although I think that's domestic box office. If you do worldwide, the only Bond movie that made more money adjusted for inflation is Skyfall. But this was Star Wars and Avengers level blockbuster for the mid 60s. One final thing, folks. Sharks. It's a great shark movie.
Yeah.
And I love sharks. I've always loved sharks. I don't like that they appear to have killed several sharks on screen, but you know, what are you going to do?
That was not something I necessarily thought of growing up with the movie, but it's right there in front of you.
Something about killing a shark. Like, I love the Friday the 13th movies. In Friday the 13th Part 1, they kill a snake on screen and I'm like, whatever, kill that snake. Fuck that snake. But a shark, like sharks live forever. You're killing a shark. That shark was going to live 200 more years maybe.
Right. And this was before even the Jaws craze of sharks are evil.
Right. And this movie invented a lot of the cinematic techniques for dealing with sharks on screen. So here I'm reading from The Telegraph in 2004. Quote, the Marine coordinators and stuntmen who created the show-stopping sub-aqua scenes in Thunderball had pioneered techniques for handling sharks in films. That's what I just said. I didn't need to say it. Helping to establish the tiger shark as central casting's favorite man-eating predator. End quote. Yeah, these are tiger sharks in this movie. They're not golden grotto sharks, which is a made-up thing. Quote, tiger sharks, which can grow up to 20 feet long, are big and aggressive, widely renowned as among the most dangerous species on Earth, frequently responsible for fatal attacks on humans. Hold on, end quote. That is misleading. There are very few fatal attacks by sharks on humans. It's saying among the very few fatal attacks, tiger sharks are responsible for a handful of those.
That's a hefty footnote there.
Yes. Bull sharks are responsible for the most killings of human beings. Again, you are never going to get attacked by a shark. It's never going to happen to you. If it does, I will pay you $100. Quote,
I won't.
But the Thunderball stuntmen, the podcast pod job will not pay you $100. Me, Matt, will pay you.
That's a personal promise. Do not hold the show liable.
So I love this. Quote, the Thunderball stuntmen had discovered that sharks have a metabolic quirk which makes it possible to manipulate them safely. When captured or placed under stress, a tiger shark will initially struggle furiously, but then become abruptly slack and enter a torpid phase from which it takes some time to recover. During this period, the shark can be released to swim along a specific course required for the shot. Then it can be recaptured before it has swum far enough for its metabolism to return to normal. The reason sharks often seem to be lumbering, clumsy animals in films is because they're only half awake. In reality, an attacking tiger shark would move so quickly, you'd barely see it. End quote. How about that?
Wow. So that does explain why they had to speed some of the shots up of the sharks.
It's just going so goddamn slow. Here, let's watch this. Like
trying to poke it with a stick. Going, go ahead, go on, move it. So that's kind of amazing, and all the better for it that they don't have to use any kind of force. It seems like a gentle process to manipulate a shark.
Sharks are going to start talking one day and they're going to be like, that thing you're doing to us, it fucking hurts.
You know, I really don't care for that.
I don't care for when you stimulate my amplify of Terenzini. Don't do it.
And then someone will say, shoot it with a spear gun.
One comment on I enjoyed all the comments on this YouTube video. Someone says, so this massive predator comes with a snooze button. Interesting. Yeah.
It goes to sleep for 9 minutes. It wakes up and eats your feet.
But you just press it again. Folks, if you're ever getting attacked by a tiger shark,
Just give it a little scritch on the chin. Boop it on the nose.
So that's the history of Thunderball. Let's talk about the movie itself.
Yeah.
Thunderball.
James Bond and his balls of thunder are here to, I don't know, you take it.
Well, we open with a funeral and there's a coffin labeled JB. Oh no, is it James Bond? Dead?
Not the first time we'll tease that.
No. In fact,
Wait, not the last first
one
time?
more
Not the
movie.
last time?
You'll see this again. And Bond is they get right to Bond. I like that they don't tease James Bond. There he is at the funeral.
Oh yeah, they just pan up and it's not.
Hey, folks, welcome to the movie. And he's meeting with a representative from the French station. This is the funeral of Jacques Bougard. He killed 2 of my colleagues. And goes to meet with the widow and offer his condolences, but then just punches the widow in the face, cleans her clock.
Yep.
Because it's not a widow at all. It's Colonel Bouvard.
I love that you said cleans her clock, because I noticed that at one point he Jacques, evil French guy, pushes over a clock to try and push it onto Bond, and the prop clock falls apart before it can hit the ground.
That's shoddy French clock making.
Shoddy clock.
So this is our first look at the very now. I mean, the filmmaking is incorporating all of this insanely fast cutting.
Right. Already we've got fast cutting, we've got green screens, we've got voice dubbing, we've got the change of the frame rate. You're already kind of plunged into this weird sort of psychedelic mood.
Mm-hmm.
And when the scene ends with the camera being sprayed with the water, it just kind of drops you underwater. There's even this low bass rumble. It just kind of, it submerges you and you're there for 2 hours. That's how I feel.
Yeah, things are just going to be a little bit different here. They're going to be a little more intense, and
They promise big, but I feel weird. I like weird.
Because they're, like you just said, they're pummeling you and there's no real let up.
Mm-hmm.
If you go see a concert, you want the band to occasionally take it down. Let's play a slow song.
No slow songs in Thunderball.
But it's
except for when the score plays slow songs.
It's a fun little fight. Then Bond gets away, kills the guy. I like that he's about to get captured, but he's like, but I got to throw flowers on him because I hate that guy.
Right.
And then he gets away by flying on a jetpack.
No well-dressed man should be without one.
This was a real jetpack that they had Sean Connery fly in. I mean, they have a stunt guy fly in, but
right,
a real U.S. Army jetpack.
You do at least see him put the helmet on.
Yeah. He takes off. The French guys are like, oh, sacre bleu, un jetpack.
Mon Dieu.
And he lands 20 feet. It doesn't seem that useful. He lands 20 feet away, and they just start very slowly chasing him on foot.
Right. He just didn't have to use the stairs.
And then to get them to go away, he sprays them with a hose like dogs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the opening.
The end. That's been our film. Click. Goodbye.
And then the opening credits. Maybe my favorite of the 4 so far, because I realized
definitely
this time,
the most expensive.
Well, they look very expensive. That human beings look very weird when they swim in scuba gear because they're
human beings.
Human beings. That's what they're called when they're underwater.
Oh.
When you have flippers on, suddenly you're not moving like a human, and it's kind of weird. And maybe that contributes to the sort of otherworldly psychedelic feeling of this movie. You'd see Thunderball, you'd go play the Beatles' Revolver when you got home, you'd have a key party with your wife and your neighbors, and you'd have a good evening.
Thanks for bringing it back to the Beatles.
You're
Matt.
welcome.
This is the podcast where
I could see I was losing you. So
is this an episode of Beatling Around the Bush?
It can be. It can be whatever you want.
You know what? Let's do that.
Beatling Around the Bush. I'm Ringo. Peace and love. Peace and... Well, he's going to get an instrument. Probably get some miniature miniature harmonium or whatever.
She said, I know what it's like to be dead.
Hi, and welcome to Beetling Around the Bush. This is our inaugural episode. Welcome, Matt.
Welcome, Wade.
And welcome, fans. Hi, everybody. This is where we talk about the Beatles in the middle of our James Bond show.
And apparently play their music on these little... I used to have a guitar like that, or I was like permanently allowed to borrow one before they took it back. I found like...
Did it belong to George Harrison?
No.
Is that why they took it back?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
You know, that's
This
happening...
was Paul McCartney's. I had to get it strung up right-handed.
Really? Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened to me twice where somebody's been like, you can have this guitar. And then like 10 years later, they're like, hey, my grandson wants to play guitar, so I'm taking it back. You can't do that, but...
Way to go, Ringo.
Anyway,
thank you. That's been Beetling Around the Bush.
She said, I know what it's like to be dead.
You could kind of do a Billy Corgan, I think.
We need a Smashing Pumpkins show. I can't just pull that out.
Is this so I really love this Tom Jones song. I think this might be my favorite Bond song sung by a man. But then most are not sung by a man, so it's not that big a claim.
That's fair. But
I mean, what else is in the running?
We do have a pretty big one coming up by a member of the Beatles. Oh, is this an episode of Beetling Around the Bush?
Fuck. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that one.
Good day, sunshine.
Hi, welcome back to Beetling Around the Bush. I'm Wade Emel.
I don't even think of it as a Bond song. That's how
Oh, okay, we're jumping back into Pod Job. Bye, everyone.
Good day, sunshine.
Okay, welcome back to Pod Job.
you've assured I will never mention that band again. Or any words that might sound like anything.
What band?
I don't know. The Fab Four.
I read the news today, oh boy. Hi, welcome back to Beetling Around the Bush. We're talking about Liverpool.
What's your favorite spot to get fish and chips in Liverpool?
Probably the old pool spot.
So I like the open crust. That's my point.
I think we're done with diversions for now. I just want to say before we move on to the film proper, I love the Thunderball song too. I feel like as a lyric, it's dumb as dirt and stupid as shit.
So remind us what these lyrics are.
Well, they're all just describing a person. Are we talking about James Bond here? He always runs while others walk. He acts while other men just talk. He looks at the world and wants it all. Were we talking about James Bond, or are we talking about the bad guy here? Who is it that strikes like Thunderball? And what the hell does that mean?
No, they shat this out like on a picnic table, like out.
This really is like a
outside.
Mad Libs type. But you know,
he always runs while others walking. So he strikes like Thunderball. He knows the meaning of success. His needs are more, so he gives less. They call him the winner who takes all, and he strikes like Thunderball.
Tom Jones even sort of sings the lyrics in the bridge as if they're placeholders. He kind of like mumbles for a second before he, takes back over with full Tom Jones power. But what I was getting at is, as a piece of music and as a Tom Jones feature, like that elevates. Just don't pay attention to what he's singing. For me, it's easily a top 10 Bond theme.
Yeah, I love it. And we were talking before we recorded.
Live and let die is better.
For me, yeah, sure. It doesn't matter what he's saying. It's just the sound. I just need to hear that warble. And it just promises people, you're about to get fucked. You're about to get strapped into the fuck machine that James Bond gets strapped into and left to get fucked to death. That's what's going to happen to you for the next 2 hours. But you pointed out, like, if you played Goldfinger and Thunderball, like, on two different tape machines at the same time, the same things would happen in each song at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm. Playing the hits.
So, Monsieur Largo. Sorry, what's the name of this actor who plays the main villain?
Adolfo Celli? Is it Celli?
Let's go with Adolfo Celli.
Adolfo Celli.
Arrives at the International Brotherhood of Stateless Persons. But, folks, this is just a front for Spectre. They're having a big Spectre conference. number one, Blofeld. He's out of sight, but he's, holding his little kitty cat.
He's on a microphone. He could be completely hidden in another room, but they just pull the blinds down past his face.
They just want you to see his legs and just know, you just know.
Oh man, those are some evil legs.
They're giving like their reports about all the shit they're doing around the world. Like, oh, we're importing drugs into North America or whatever. And okay. And it's literally the plot, Dr. Evil's plot from the first Austin Powers movie. That's just what they do here. Is,
including the chair that kills someone and goes down into the floor.
Yeah. And Blofeld gets to do his favorite bit, which is to make one person think he's about to kill you, but actually he's going to kill your partner.
Yeah.
And you're only going to wish you were dead.
He's making him sweat. You can see how sweaty that guy is.
So here's their ingenious plan, folks. They're going to steal some nuclear weapons and make the government pay them. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And what I love about the movie, I wouldn't say by love, I mean don't like, is the stakes of the movie are not the world is going to end. It's like, oh, the British Treasury is going to have to pay. Because they're just like, okay, we'll pay.
Right.
Unless Bond can find them in time. It's like, well, why do I care? No one's in danger. They're just going to pay them to, you know what I'm saying?
It was nice in the year of our Lord 2026 to watch a movie where the people who are threatening to nuke the world get thwarted instead of enabled.
You don't think this is happening all the time? Where our men and women of the armed forces and the secret special ops are always thwarting terrorist plots like this?
No.
No, you don't think so? Damn, okay.
No, we are the terrorists.
But what I'm saying is like the British government immediately makes it clear like, well, we will just pay them. But if James Bond stops them in time, that'll be a nice bonus. I think you shouldn't say that to me because it means I don't need to get that invested because the world's not in any danger.
This is the longest Bond film yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I feel like they only get longer, more or less.
I know that is a bummer when the first three just move. They're each under 2 hours. You see the running time for this, and it's only going up from here.
Maybe we'll start tracking our star ratings concurrently with the run times of the movies.
Yes, we should.
We like to analyze data.
This is a data-driven podcast.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most
Pod
ambitious
job. Get your facts.
Most ambitious project Spectre has ever undertaken. And their agent of theirs, who is like the head guy of the project or whatever, he's currently at a NATO base in England near a health clinic. No, a health clinic near a NATO base. So let's go check in on that health clinic. Why, James Bond is there, wouldn't you know it? What's he doing there? He meets Count Lip and sees that weird tattoo that all these Spectre people have. Like, say, what's that tattoo? And he calls up Moneypenny. He's like, let me tell you about this fucked up tattoo I saw. And she's like, but James, you're off duty. Go get your massage.
Why don't you go eat yogurt and lemon juice and forget about the job?
Yoghurt, please.
Yoghurt.
James Bond is just like harassing this healthcare nurse. Lays a good kiss on her face, and she pulls away, but you can tell like, though, I don't want to like this as much as I do. And she says, I see there's only one way to deal with you. And she straps him into this thing, this fuck machine. Straps
him into the fuck machine.
And just, turns it up and like, I'll come back after 15 or 20 minutes. So long, pal.
The assassination attempt on the fuck machine by Count Lippy was one of those scenes that always like really fucked me up as a kid.
Really?
Yeah. And I think it's the way it's shot with all the quick cuts and, it's disorienting and, it's James Bond and, he's basically helpless.
This is the most powerless he's been.
Yeah. He even calls out for help. You don't get much of that.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Because Count Lip comes in and
Count Lip.
Is it Lip or Lippy?
Lippy.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure it's not Lip?
Unlike Count Lippy.
It's not short for Philip?
Phil Lip.
Count Lippy comes in, turns the fuck machine all the way up to 11, and Bond gets fucked to death almost. And the nurse comes back in, and she's like, oh, you poor dear. She's like Ethel Mertz. Like, oh, you poor dear.
You could have been fucked to death.
Oh, please don't tell my boss you nearly got fucked to death. I'll lose my job. And he's like, my dear, my silence has a price. And then they fuck in the steam room.
Yep.
But
not to death, because we see her later. He doesn't fuck her to death.
She likes it. She's good now. She's nice now.
It's all great. It's very, very appropriate and plays well.
So then we cut ahead and Bond leaves the room, leaves her, she's now been fucked to death in the room. And he goes, see you later, irrigator.
Irrigator. I wrote that down.
Because
It's one of my favorite.
the room is labeled irrigator. So he's just having a little fun with himself. Irrigator.
And he even pauses and takes a moment to look up at the sign before he says it. It's just so
See you later. It's just Sean
Irrigator.
Connery has these random, gets really harsh when he just says something. Like, oh, goddamn. See you later. Okay. I hope not. Irrigator. He should say it so that she hears it, so that she knows, oh, he still likes me. Now, the subtitle on my Amazon Prime stream said alligator. This is an instance of these captions. We have to get them under control. They're so wrong all the time.
Yeah. That's obviously Irrigator.
So now Bond's like, well, he strapped me into the fuck machine. I'll pull some sexy pranks on him. It's like a college comedy now. He rides a horse into Count Lippy's room.
Thunderball, the American Pie prequel.
There's a crusty old dean who's Count Lippy, James Bond.
He runs into Stifler's mom in the hallway,
Yeah.
and she's like,
Oh, is that the doorbell? What's going on?
Some ding dong ditch. So yeah, okay. We have now Major Derval, some French guy, and he's there with his girlfriend. And what happens here is in this twisty turny spy plot is she has brought along his exact double, the guy who is covered in bandages. And the double reveals himself to Major Derval, and then they kill Major Derval. Then the guy who's now the new Major Derval, his name is Angelo. He spent the past 2 years getting plastic surgery and learning this guy's exact mannerisms and accent and everything. Because this guy is like a NATO pilot captain. He's the nuclear bomb guy.
if it's convoluted and confusing, just go watch it 3-4 more times.
That's all you got to do. That's all you have to do.
It'll all make sense eventually.
And
once
you have to
just-
be taking notes on every scene while you watch it,
Yes.
which is what I did. And the movie finally made sense for me.
I do love, hats off to the guy, but, you know, not too far back on the head. Hats off to the guy who plays Derval and Angelo, maybe the first actor in a Bond film who gets to play a good guy and a bad guy who are the same character, but not really.
Oh, and he makes the most out of it. He's scintillating on screen no, I don't know. I thought he was going to be a major presence in the movie. He dies very quickly.
Yeah. He's the he's the peon, you know, they need him for they need him to do a task, and he gets too big for his britches and asks for too much money. So they get rid of him. But what a great scene, and maybe I'm skipping ahead a little bit, where they're underwater and Largo and Angelo have to do all of their acting with half their face covered.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a whole conversation between them with not one word said. It's just hand gestures and eyes.
I was impressed with the movie not doing some bad dubbing over, like, oh, yes, we are using our underwater talkie devices now.
Right.
Hey, let me out of this strap, please. Let me out. Cut me out of this airplane. I can't get out. But yeah, you're right. You see it all. They have the little thing from The Dark Knight of like, now I kill the bus driver. You can't trust crooks. They're just going to kill you when your use is, you've worn out your usefulness.
Right.
Okay, so back at the spa, Mr. Lippy is, Bond sees him sneaking into the building with a gurney. And so Bond's like, oh, I got to go check out that gurney. And he sneaks around. He feels like his sexy pranks are escalating. Maybe there's some real mischief afoot. And they attack him, but he gets the best of them. And then we go see the heist of the atom bombs, which is just he's on the fighter jets and the squadron of fighters that are shepherding these 2 atomic bombs, and he like makes them turn left instead of right. And now they have those nuclear bombs. Let's go set them down in the Bahamas, please.
The words handle like eggs being printed on a nuke is cute.
I love it. I love anything that's printed on a nuke. Handle with care. Like, oh, good. Yeah. Okay.
Wait. Handle with Care by George Harrison? Who's
No.
Stop.
He's not.
Stop it.
So over at Mission Control, a snooty British general is told like, oh, hell, a whole arsenal of nuclear weapons has disappeared. Bloody hell.
What's the flap, Dawson?
And he's like, you know what? I'm giving this my top priority. Oh, okay. Full security. Pip, pip, cheerio. So, yeah, the bad guys have gotten the nukes. The plane sinks to the bottom of the ocean. The fake Derval Mr. Angelo. He like kills the rest of the guys on the fighter pilot, and then he lets the rest of the guys in. There's this whole thing where all of this needs to be done underwater. This is this movie's giant gambit of like a lot of this movie is going to take place underwater, and we are really going to film with these underwater cameras and have our actors in scuba gear doing all this shit. And all of it is very impressive from a technical perspective.
Was it a technical thing that made them decide like, oh, we've got some underwater cameras, let's go underwater with it? Or is that just how it was always supposed to be?
Well, it was McClory's idea when they were drafting the screenplay that you should do some underwater shit. Yeah, I don't know if it was like, ooh, there's this new technology that we can use. I don't know. I don't know when they got the idea to do it, but it's like, it's very clearly like this is new for all of them, for the director, Terrence Young. And when you do something like this, you have to give up a lot of your control to like your stunt guys. And I think they're impressive technically. I do get so worn out with all the underwater stuff and just kind of check out, but I haven't yet at this point in the movie. There
are long, you don't always get a break from the underwater scenes. It's just long stretches of quiet. And like,
I admire that they're trying to, they're not, like I said, they're not dubbing over any voices so you can understand what's going on. They're not making it so easy with like, oh, James Bond is in a green suit and everybody else is in a different suit. But yeah, I think it's a little much, even as I like the idea.
I can't disagree with that, but it is, we were just talking about, like, you like the psychedelic band to slow down and play a slow number every once in a while. And sometimes but still you're under the ocean. There is that creeping claustrophobic feeling the whole time.
And I really like that it's kind of like an episode of Breaking Bad. They're like, we're going to show you the process of all of this. Here's how you steal a nuclear weapon. You pull it under the water. You get these little pontoon jet propulsion things. You have to put down your circus tent so you can hide the airplane. I just like all of it. I like getting to see all this stuff.
And I like that they're actually asking more of the audience to follow along. They're not just skipping ahead and giving it to you in meetings.
Right. But don't pay too close attention or else you'll know how to steal nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
So over at...
the Home Secretary.
Over at MI6, because Bond has left the health clinic and goes to, meet with them and give him some sass, only to find out M is in a big, giant room with the Home Secretary and all these important people. And so Bond has to go into there. And they play a recording.
Home Secretary, this guy who's not even supposed to be, he's there by proxy. So he's just like pissed off before he even gets there. And then he has to wait to start the meeting because Bond is late. He's been overindulging on yogurt, and can't get his shit together.
Well, they're so mad. What did he do wrong? What, they told him to be there and he was late?
Yep.
Okay.
Look at this guy, though. You can fit 2 tons of bullshit in the bags under his eyes.
We're looking at the Home Secretary, who's like, I'm a very important man. I spoke with the Prime Minister, and he says it's a big deal that they've stolen nuclear weapons.
This guy was probably like 31 when they filmed.
Yeah, he was 31. They hadn't discovered water yet. So they play the recording from Spectre. We've stolen the nuclear weapons, and the British government must pay £100 million or we will destroy a major city.
Such a great voice.
And the Home Secretary is like, the Prime Minister and the President have spoken extensively. Don't worry. Britain's still a major power. Trust me.
And we will prove it by negotiating with terrorists if we have to.
So he's like, MI6, you guys are good. You guys take the lead on recovering the bombs, okay? And you specifically, James Bond, that guy that your boss seems to hate so much, you will take the lead.
Well, they try to send him to Canada.
They do.
Yeah, because they're just sending everyone everywhere at this point.
You just wherever you got to go, just get out of here. Maybe he's in Canada.
Right?
Has there been a Bond movie in Canada?
Good question.
Let's look it up.
I love Blofeld's voice in both in this movie and in From Russia with Love. It's maybe the iconic unseen villain voice.
The one here, or the one From Russia with Love?
I feel like they're both the same, if not similar.
Same guy?
Maybe same guy. They're very, it's that, that low, soft-spoken. Don't worry, it will become an issue very shortly.
Yeah, when he's played by Donald Pleasance. I'm Blofeld.
Mr. Bond.
I love that. I love that they are teasing him over many different movies, and it's a good reveal when you finally see him.
We'll see.
Blofeld. I guess you don't think so. So fuck me.
I
I'll
said
just go
we'll
kill
s-
myself.
I said we'll see.
The project is codenamed Thunderball. Oh my God.
What does that mean?
It's the thunder. Wonder. What's behind a Thunderball? What's in a Thunderball?
I wonder, Wall.
There was this commercial when we were kids for a toy called a Wonder Ball. Or maybe it was, I wonder, what's in a Wonder Ball? Who knows what surprises a Wonder Ball can bring?
Oh my God, you're sending me back through the wormhole and I don't like it.
But here's why I remembered that, because me and my friends, we would change it to Wonder Bra. What's behind a Wonder Bra?
That's really clever.
Oh, thanks.
We're the pun podcast. We have pun here.
Wade, James Bond has never been to Canada or Australia. They need to remedy that.
Yeah, I feel like
Post-haste.
next movie's got to be Canada and Australia, bi-coastal.
So they're like, hey, we're going to send you to Canada, okay? You're going to go...
Please, anything but that.
Yeah, he's like, can I go instead, counterpoint, the Bahamas maybe? Yeah. Look at this photo.
And M says, do you have any other reason besides you like to get peed on?
What?
He says, besides your enthusiasm for water sports.
Oh my God. What did I miss?
But no, what I love about this scene is I like any time that M defends James Bond's
I like it too.
work. Like, yeah, because you get so much of, boss employer relationship between M and James Bond that it's nice when they can just kind of put their heads together on the same level, if only for maybe 4 lines of
You love to
dialogue,
see
because
it, yes.
eventually he just dismisses him with, don't waste your time sitting around.
I like it too. It's I'm a simp, but he's always so mean to Bond, but always sticking up for his guy. That's so nice.
He's got a heart of gold.
He saw Derval. Derval was killed at the health clinic, but he sees a photo of Derval in the Bahamas. Ooh, I've been wanting to go to the Bahamas. Maybe that's the place to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't send me to Canada, please. The mission.
His like in GoldenEye, he ran some lady's license plate and then they have a movie because of it. I saw a picture of the Bahamas, thought I'd go there.
I really want to see those 2 moles on that left thigh, after all.
And so he goes. We get some like Bahama tourist board footage of people snorkeling with sea turtles. And then Bond is down there, and it's this is Domino, right? Swimming with she's swimming with a sea turtle, and she gets her foot caught in the coral, and he frees her. And then they go up to the surface, and we get to meet Claudine Auger, voiced by Nikki Vandergeel. She is Largo's mistress and Derval's sister. And this is where I noted like they're throwing a lot of characters at us, and none of them are really doing it for me.
Wow. Yeah, I can sympathize with that. This one took of all my favorite Bond films, this one took the most work to just understand the
Where's
plot.
Quarrel? Give me a Quarrel.
Yeah, I miss Quarrel. But at the same time, like, I mean, I love Domino. I love her style. I love how heavily they go on the like mid 60s eye makeup in this movie. It's very like fashionable 60s. It's like we're bringing hipness into James Bond now. You got the big beehive up.
The way everything in the Bahamas looks, and look, I know I'm talking about like a colonial place where it's probably an apartheid state, but the way like the hotel looks, it's like, God, I just want to live there. I just want to live there in 1965 so badly. Those stone walls.
They don't build them like they used
They
to.
really don't. The Bahamas would not gain independence from Britain for 7 more years. That is your British Empire history fact of the episode. But yeah, Bond like goes to the surface and he's like, I'm a sexy man and you're a sexy lady. Can I be in your life now? And she's like, yeah, okay.
She's like, well, I don't know. So Bond swims over to his boat, unplugs the motor, and goes, I need to get on your boat. She's like, fine.
It works. So you just gotta, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
And
James Bond
and he's
Michael
taking
Scott.
He's taking 100% of the shots that he's taking. He's very persistent.
Now, they are doing the thing that they already did in Dr. No, where who's this mysterious guy in sunglasses who keeps following James Bond? Surely a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then later you find out, no, it's Felix Leiter. Except they already did that, but they can do it again because they've recast the guy.
Yep.
Which I think is weird.
That it is weird. It's some might call it a cop out or whatever.
A cheat.
A
They're
cheat.
cheating.
They're playing the hits, you know. It's the fourth movie already.
They are playing the hits, including the woman who works at the hotel says, "Sorry, you don't have any mail," and then just gives them like, "Oh my God, fuck you so bad."
We finally found a thirstier desk clerk than the one in Dr. No.
If it ain't broke,
Right. How do you feel about this particular Felix Leiter?
bah,
Yeah.
bah.
They spend a lot of time with him. I feel like we get more Felix Leiter in Thunderball than in the others so
We
far.
really do.
And this is not my favorite Leiter. Although he has a good go at it.
I mean, Felix is never, because he changes actors every time. That just never sticks with me. I just know, oh, he's the CIA guy, which is like, yeah.
For me, some of them hit, some of them miss. I feel like this one's somewhere in the middle.
So,
And there he is, clutching his tummy.
So Bond goes to his hotel. Just the way this place looks, it's incredible. Goes to his room, looks around for bugs like he normally does. This time he finds a tape recorder that he has put into a giant book, and he listens to it. Like, let me now listen to the 18 hours that I wasn't in my room. And he hears, oh, people have been in my room. Oh no. Goes into the bathroom and finds a goon.
Fortunately for us watching the movie, it doesn't take all 18 hours for him to listen to it. He finds what he's looking for right away.
Where does he find the time, though, if he has to do that?
What if there was just a card that said 17 hours later?
He couldn't just look at the waveforms on a computer, and see like, okay, there's some activity.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have Google Gemini summarize it for him.
What would that summary even look like? Scrape, door close.
Yeah. So it's a hired goon. He immediately overpowers him. And then Felix comes in and they're like, hey, should we kill this guy? And Bond's like, no, he's a little fish.
The little fish.
Let go of the little fish.
I don't really understand what he tells him to tell Largo.
Tell Largo James Bond says hello.
Tell him the little fish I threw back into the sea. That's okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Tell him I'm...
Whatever. I guess not every one-liner can hit.
Tell him I'm on the clock. Palmyra.
So then he gets whipped in the face.
You let him get the better of you.
What is Largo's nationality? He's French?
I don't know what he's supposed to be. Is Emilio? So maybe he's
One of those Italians.
I'm not here to speculate.
Yeah, his estate on the island is called Palmyra, and he has a swimming pool with some sharks. And he throws the goon in because the goon disappointed him. And he says, feed my friends, or whatever. Loves his little sharks.
Gently, my friend, gently.
These are very young tiger sharks.
You don't actually see the guy getting mauled. You just see the water turn red.
They did not actually feed a man to sharks in this movie, no.
But again, Peter Benchley must be going, oh, man, this is, wow.
This is good stuff
This
right
is
here.
really, you know what? We ought to make a movie like this.
So we go back. It's the next day. So Bond and Felix, he's assembling like a new crew. This is like a Fast and the Furious movie. Hey, we've got Paula. She's another woman.
Right.
Then we got this guy, this
The nameless radio guy.
yeah. And we're going to our little remote station. And who's that? Q.
Oh, I love Q in the field. We get to see Q in the field. It never occurred to me that it happened so soon, even though this is one of my favorite Bond movies and I've seen it a million times. But watching them in order, it feels like, wow, Q is they're already like, it's wildly impractical if you think about it. They're sending their main electronics genius out to just hand him some stuff.
Yeah. And you even like when Bond goes into that giant conference room, it's like, you get the impression this is a huge organization with tons of agents, all presumably off on their own missions that are as complex as this. But yeah, Q can go to the Bahamas. Make sure you get dressed appropriately for the climate. And, he doesn't even like leaving Islington Gardens. And here he is in Nassau, and he's not happy about it either. Oh, I don't like arming you in the field, 007.
The whole scene is just it's classic and so quotable. Every line practically is. My favorite might be "Try to be a little less than your usual frivolous self, 007."
And gives him the rebreather. 4 minutes. You get 4 minutes of extra air with this.
I love it.
Only use it for emergencies. Don't use it for the rest of this movie, please. He does not listen. He does not pay attention.
Don't use it for 20 minutes at once.
So Bond later goes, we leave Q behind. Poor Desmond Llewellyn probably made $50 for this movie.
Can I just say before we move off of this scene, before we meet Q, another one of my favorite little micro moments is when they're listening to the radio report of Big Ben chiming 7 times at 6 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And no one's saying anything, but James Bond nevertheless shushes the room. They're just walking in and he goes, shh. Fantastic.
He just assumes everyone else is being frivolous.
Right.
He goes scuba diving under Largo's yacht.
Oh, there's scuba diving in this movie.
There's some scuba diving,
wow.
yes. And he gets in it, and then a henchman is down there too. And so they get in a little scuffle, but then James Bond swims away to safety. And I love the Spectre goons who follow them, and they're like, he got away. He's probably, I don't know, I forget what they say, but they're like, let's go tell the boss right now.
We must have hit him with the propeller. Yay.
They give up very, very easily.
I also love when they get discovered and Largo has them turn on the closed circuit TV, but it's just footage from the movie. It's like they're just watching Thunderball on TV.
They're watching Thunderball. You're like, oh, look, there's a dissolve in the security footage. There's a star wipe.
What is this? This is right now.
This is right now. Look, you can hear the John Barry score in the security footage.
Oh, great score. Have I said that yet? The
No,
score
but it is
in
a
this
great
movie
score.
is
It's a great
fucking
score.
phenomenal.
Love it. And Bond, gets to shore and he hitchhikes with a woman, Fiona. Fiona, right?
Dun dun dun.
Who we have seen in the movie. She was at the health clinic with.
She was with the guy who was not the guy.
Yeah. Too many women in this movie. That's what I'm complaining about.
There's too many women and there are too many men playing identical other people.
And as everybody knows, I all women look the same to me. It's hard for me to, I have face blindness in general, but women all look the same to me. I'm not racist against women. I'm just not good at picking out individual women. So
she drives way too fast.
yeah. And he sees she has a Spectre ring because they all like wearing their Spectre gear.
Mm-hmm.
And
although she does hide it too late. I had actually never noticed that.
Oh, really?
Before. As a kid, I had this movie on VHS. So I was constantly watching a reformatted version, and in the widescreen version, you can see her turn the ring over to hide it.
you literally just can't see it on the VHS.
Yep, they felt it was not important.
So he just happens to run into this Spectre woman, or this was all, she was hanging around in case she needed to intervene or something.
I got the sense it's just James Bond in the right place at the right time, like he always is.
And she is like, I am going to push this station wagon to 120 miles per hour. And he's like, oh no, I might die, but I'm getting horny again. And she just, pulls up to the one hotel harmlessly and gets out. Oh, how convenient.
Also, what the hell kind of response is it when he says, I've no desire to be capsized twice in one night, and she says, at least you won't have to swim ashore? Like, yeah, I'm going to roll this car 28 times, but at least you'll just die in it.
As long as I don't have to swim again, I'm already dry. So, yeah.
And we're only halfway into the movie at this point.
Yeah. This is one of those cases, this happens on One Week Rental, where I summarize a movie and realize, like, there's too much going on here. Too much. So Bond's like, I figured it out. Something's up with that boat. The nukes, they must be under the water. The whole darn operation's being run underwater.
Oh yeah, he's got his underwater camera from Q. That's how he found out. The Q gadget's still a home run every damn time.
Oh yeah. Oh, that rebreather. If I had seen this movie, and this would definitely have been my favorite Bond movie as a kid. I wish I had seen it as a kid. I was obsessed with sharks, as I've already said. I loved the show Baywatch because I liked to see all the rescuing. I liked the life buoy thing that they got. And I was obsessed with snorkeling and scuba diving. And I've still never gone scuba diving because I'm an idiot. But if I die without having scuba dived, I'm going to be really pissed.
I think you and I should make a pact right now that will not happen to either of us.
Okay, good. You want to scuba dive?
I do.
Oh, it seems like the best.
It seems pretty awesome. I want to go boop a shark.
I want to boop a shark. Largo and Fiona, they're shooting skeet at Palmyra. And she's talking about how he's doing a shitty job because he wants to kill James Bond right now. But if they kill James Bond right now, the British government will know something's going on over here in the Bahamas and they'll focus their attention. So can't kill him just yet. But Bond pays a social call to Largo because he was invited to lunch. And so James Bond goes to shoot some skeet. And let's watch the clip because this is Sean Connery just doing just the best. As I've said, Sean Connery's secret weapon is that he's a bitch.
Seems terribly difficult. No, it isn't, is it?
Just shooting from the hip like it's nothing.
No, it isn't, is it?
As a kid, that made me wonder if, like, is James Bond that good of a shot, or is the bad guy like cheating at skeet? Like, do they fly out and then just explode so he can pretend he's good at it?
Well,
but no, James Bond just shoots from the hip.
Just that
and is a
good,
bitch
but that
about
would
it.
be funny.
He's serving cunt, as the kids would say.
The kids are. I have a kid. The kids always saying that. It's like, come on. What are we, British?
What they're always saying in this movie though is Meester Bond.
Meester Bond.
I only noticed it this time how close two of them are together when he arrives at Palmyra, and Domino says, "Oh, Meester Bond," and then like 2 seconds later, Largo walks up and says, "Meester Bond." That should have been the lyrics to the song.
Meester Bond.
Meester Bond, Meester Bond.
And again, we're doing European accents, everybody. It's not problematic. It's okay.
Right. It's continental.
That night is the Jun Canoe, and which is the Bahamian Mardi Gras, which I believe it's not the Bahamian Mardi Gras, but it's good. They get the idea. It's close enough.
Yeah, they sum it up in a single line. But that ever since seeing this movie, I've decided that Jun Canoe is something I want to do. Like scuba diving.
Okay, we'll do that too. Hey, you know what? I know a place we can do both.
What's that?
New Orleans.
No,
No, let's go to the Bahamas. We'll stay at
Mardi
Atlantis.
Gras, y'all!
that was a Lacey quote.
I have felt more melancholy about Mardi Gras ending this year than I did about Christmas. I don't know what it is. I miss when the king cakes stop appearing in stores.
It was very early.
Yeah, that maybe
year.
that's it. Yeah, it's February and it's already been over for weeks.
Yeah,
It's bullshit.
and it's even earlier next year. I don't like that.
Ugh, time.
Thank the Catholics.
Gotta stop it.
This damn Catholic calendar.
So what happens? Oh, he goes to the Jun Canoe. Well, Mr. Largo says like hey, take my niece. I think she is.
Yeah,
take her out to the Jun Canoe tonight, please. Please and thank you.
So he takes her out, immediately leaves her with lighter.
Yeah. And I wrote down in my notes, like, I thought the Jun Canoe scene was much longer, but I didn't. It comes back. It comes back. So
yeah, you do get a break from like, I mean, the Jun Canoe is sort of the opposite of the underwater scenes where it's just constant loud volume, things always happening, quick cuts left and right.
Mm-hmm.
But we do get breaks from that.
Yeah. And
which is why it seems like it goes on for a while.
He has arranged for the electricity to be cut off at Largo's house so that he can sneak in because they remembered, oh, he's a spy. So he's got to sneak around like the Pink Panther or whatever.
And damn if it's not one of the best parts of the movie.
Oh, yeah, rules.
We're just sneaking around. It's like, thank God we got back to some sneaking around. And we were starting to lose it there for a second.
Ends up in a tussle with the guy and they fall into the pool and, you know, they're surrounded by 20 guns, but Largo's like, no, I have a better idea. Let me deploy the pool cover.
Right.
Traps them both in the pool.
It was like I didn't even see this. Like my brain immediately went to, no, I'm going to close the tank, not actually witness them dying and assume it went all to plan. What?
Yeah.
I have a gun in my room. You give me 5 seconds.
But blow the brains
out. Just waiting for Seth Green to run out to the pool yard.
Seth Green's so funny in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
What a good movie. The first one. Not the other two.
Well, debatable.
So And then, okay, that's what. So, okay, I'm coming around on Largo. I'm liking him more and more because why is he doing this? Because that's who he is. That's what he's got to do.
He's a bad guy.
That's good enough. But hey,
Evil dude.
open the tunnel hatch. You know how I have a swimming pool that my sharks live in and a swimming pool for humans to swim in? They're connected by a tunnel. Why would you build that? Not only why would you build that, why would you have an easy to pull up hatch? Let the sharks into the pool. Not good for the sharks or the pool. And James Bond has put in the rebreather. And Sean Connery, who we've learned was very afraid, a little whiny baby about animals.
Another great shot of a pane of glass in between Sean Connery and an animal.
Yes, they had plexiglass, but what they didn't tell him was like, we don't have enough plexiglass. Like, it's not going to cover all of you. And he did he was in the water with a shark without plexiglass. And when he realized it, he got out of there so freaking fast. I love this. I love him swimming with the sharks. I love the sharks going through the tunnel. It's so fun.
Yeah.
So Bond concluded his shark adventure, goes back to the hotel. He's just back and forth. It's the same night. Goes to his hotel room, or is it the same night?
It is. The junk canoe is still happening. He's running to and fro. He's hither and thither. And I'm wondering, like, all of this, like, all this running around and making love is taking what, 30 minutes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, he's efficient. Again, he moves at his own speed. He has time.
Is the hotel just centrally located? Maybe?
It must be. Yes, and the power was cut, but the power's back now, and everybody's fine.
Well, like I've said many times before, it's a psychedelic film. You don't know what's going on.
You just you put on your psychedelic record by your favorite band, the Beach Boys, and you let it wash over you. So,
Hoist up the John B.
They, it's a big budget movie because this was not like Junk Canoe had ended and they're like, can you do Junk Canoe again? And so they did.
They're playing the hits from 20 minutes ago.
They have, hundreds of extras in elaborate costumes who they just let go. It's you love it. I fucking love it.
Also, when he gets back to the hotel and he says, tell them Paula's dead. And the guy goes, okay. Underreaction.
Okay.
One of your little Scooby gang is fucking deceased.
Gets back to his hotel room, finds Fiona, the specter lady, naked in his bathtub.
The specter of the tub.
She asks for something to put on and he hands her shoes. And she's like, really? Ugh, really, James Bond? My God.
Another great one-liner. This one doesn't even need words.
He knows she's Spectre, she's evil, but might as well have sex with her, so he does. And then later when they're done, they're about to go for a nice evening together. She lets in her henchman. She's like, no, we're not actually going to go have fun.
We're going to go somewhere for an interesting talk.
Now he has to put her down. Like, you think I had sex with you for fun? You think I enjoyed doing any of that? It gave me any pleasure? I did it for king and country. I did it for Prince Andrew and his best friend Jeffrey.
But then she's got a monologue of her own that seems to be like taking the piss out of every Bond girl up to this point. Like, it's Pussy Galore, for example.
Yeah, she's like, I bet you were expecting me to like melt my evil heart with the power of your lovemaking. It's not going to happen, mister. No, thank you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
It's almost specific to the point of a sibling rivalry.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, she just gets very defensive.
It's like she's seen a James Bond movie.
It's like she's seen a James Bond movie. Maybe she was on the boat earlier when they were watching Thunderball.
And then she's trying to tell herself, no, don't get in the car. Don't go to the junk canoe. It's not going to end well for you. Don't go into that dance club.
But they do. They get into the car. We were just talking about Mardi Gras. I was thinking watching this car get stopped trying to cross the parade route is like watching someone try to drive across Bourbon Street on Mardi Gras Day.
And they're like, well, we'll just wait. Like, no, you won't.
No.
You're fucked.
You're going to be there for a minute, hun.
And he gets out because some guy's like trying to sell them alcohol and Bond knocks over the alcohol and
sets it on fire.
Yeah.
Sufficient diversion to get out of the car.
Gets out of the car, runs away. And, it's cool. We're seeing these actual actors run through the crowds, and it ends up in this dance club where he's surrounded by the specter of people. And he's like, well, might as well dance with Fiona. And she's like, yeah, I guess might as well. And they're dancing, and she's saying like, hey, you're going to die. You're going to die. He's like, I don't think so. And then
she's saying you're going to die. And he's saying, you don't seem to understand. I enjoy my dancing. I love how this is a conversation where they're each having a conversation with someone who isn't there.
It doesn't matter what he says to me. I'm going to say what I want to say.
They don't match up at all, and I love it.
But I think this is really cool. This is really well shot and edited, where he sees a pistol sticking mysteriously out from a curtain, and it's intercut with the drums, the hands of the drummers.
Yeah.
And it's all very cool. And
the gunman has obviously heard this song before because he knows exactly when the drum solo is going to crest.
So he's in cahoots with the band, is what we're saying. And Bond sees this and puts Fiona in the way of the gun. She's dead.
She's just dead. Great scene, iconic. And also, I gotta take umbrage with the comment about the supporting cast not being up to snuff. I think Fiona.
Don't take umbrage.
I'm taking
Fiona's good.
Full umbrage because in the name of Fiona Volpe, she is excellent. She's great on the motorcycle. She's great in the dance club. She's great in the hotel. She's just great.
The British government, they're going to pay the ransom. Like, honestly, we're not happy about it, but we'll do it, all right?
We should have to pay up and look as happy as we can.
We'll impose a 10% levy on bloody tea to pay for it. And so, again, there's no stakes in this movie. Unless 007 can do something about this, I'm afraid we'll have to pie. So,
is Domino still at the junk canoe? We haven't seen it. Did she just get left? Like, everyone's back at work, and she's...
I don't know. She disappears for a while, then comes...
What about me?
Yeah, her. Bond and James Bond and James Bond is the one I'm talking about, and Felix Leiter. They're flying around in a helicopter looking for the secret location, and Bond sees down in the ocean, what's that? Golden grotto sharks, of course. This must be the place. So they take the helicopter down. Bond is like, hey, shoot one of those sharks, and he does. They really do shoot a shark right here.
Don't care for that.
And Bond dives in and swims around, finds the plane, but the bombs aren't there. This is a clue.
Good clue.
And then he just happens to run into Domino underwater. It's a weird edit. They reunite underwater.
Yeah. This is where it starts getting weird in a almost kind of a sloppy way.
They reunite and we see the passion they have for each other because a lot of bubbles are released. So they like fart on each other? What are they doing?
I'm not here to speculate on what is going on behind that rock. It's, it's movie magic, baby.
It really is. That's why
she's got magic. A lot of eye makeup to cry off for somebody who's just been fucking under the ocean.
They do a sex dissolve. So whatever sexual act did release all those bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get out of the water, Bond's like, I hope we didn't disturb the fish. And then she steps on a sea urchin. She's like, oh no, a sea urchin, gotta suck poison out of my foot. And Bond sucks the poison out of her foot and then says, first time I've ever tasted a woman. No, it is not.
No, he even tells her earlier when she says, what sharp little eyes you've got. He says, wait till you get to my teeth.
Oh.
Chekhov's Bond's teeth.
Listen, Domino, I got something to tell you about your brother. Oh, how's he doing? About that. No, he's dead. And I need you to help me fucking do something. I don't know. Use this camera to take a picture of Largo. That way we'll know. What does she have to do?
Is the camera the underwater camera or is the camera the Geiger counter?
The camera has a Geiger counter on it, I think.
I think she's just supposed to like press a button and when it starts clicking, she knows that the bombs are on board.
Okay, good.
And then maybe take some good headshots.
You have a very vital role to play, Domino. And she's like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, it does get a little sloppy right here with, press the button and then go up on deck and you'll be spotted.
There's still like 45 minutes left in the movie. And so we begin a very long stretch of scuba diving as they load the bombs onto the boat. And again, it's a big technical achievement. I love any shot where you see how many fucking stunt people they have in scuba suits, all looking very weird. And when they start fighting each other, it is kind of psychedelic to realize like human beings, if you put them in the ocean and give them flippers, they're going to look like sea creatures. And that's kind of fun.
What I want to know in this scene is if Dr. No thought that James Bond was Chang in a suit that doesn't cover his face, how does Largo recognize James Bond with his face covered?
There's the helpful part where Bond's scuba suit shoots out yellow so you can track him, but he doesn't.
This
Largo
is before that.
Okay. No, I don't know. Because Dr. No's an idiot. Dr. No fucking sucks. He
That's
can't do
right.
anything.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's because
Largo has the opposite of face blindness. He can recognize someone by two moles on
he
his
only
left
has
cheek.
the use of one eye. It's made him compensate. He looks for the details. He
There you
knows what
go.
he's looking for.
There you go.
I just think when you as a director, it's probably hard to design a compelling action sequence when you have to work around all this weird, crazy technology.
Should you scuba dive with a lack of depth perception?
Oh, that's a good question. We'll table that for another day.
We'll talk about that next month when we're in space. But the one-man motorized propeller that spits out green is another one of maybe my favorite Bond trope of all, which is the Q gadget that is teased but not explained earlier.
Yeah, you do like that.
You just sort of see him playing with it. You don't expect to see him wearing it.
And then you finally see it. And yet he does use this rebreather for like 30 minutes. You
Yeah.
are not supposed to do. No.
I should have had my stopwatch going for that.
So, I mean, like,
Plot hole.
Bond is just like swimming around punching bad guys and taking their goggles off, doing that thing where you pull the goggles like a few inches and then let go and like, oh,
Yeah. Or just like, no mask, you can't see. No mask, you can't see.
And so Bond ends up on the boat where they have the bombs. And this is fucking cool as shit when they're like, jettison the cocoon.
Uh-huh.
This is like when the Star Trek Enterprise detaches the big disc part from the main part. And it's cool. They really got a real boat to do this. And there's a huge, I love a fucking fast moving boat chase.
Mm-hmm.
And
No honor among thieves, man. He just leaves all his cronies on the cocoon to be
just to get torpedoed to death.
incinerated.
Yeah. And so Bond, we get another one of these super fast cut fight sequences between Bond and Largo and all his henchmen. And it looks like Largo's going to shoot Bond, but then Domino comes up and shoots him dead. And then immediately says, I am glad that I shot Largo to death.
That's what does it for me. That is why I love Domino. Domino gets to kill the big bad guy.
And say right away, like, yeah, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
And then he says, you're glad. She's been on a journey.
She has been. You get to see, unfortunately, the relationship that she really has with Largo, who's basically torturing her in a stateroom, and she takes her revenge.
I guess I just feel like the movie doesn't invest enough in any of that. But when you see it so many times, you know what's going on with her.
Yeah. And of course, you got Tatiana Romanova gets to kill Rosa Klebb at the end of the
That one feels
From Russia with Love.
That to me feels a lot more triumphant.
It does, but yeah, this one too.
This one's good too. Then they jump. James Bond, Domino, and this scientist friend she just made all jump off the boat in time right before it hits some rock jetties.
The little Polish sausage guy.
This is my new friend, the Sausage Man. They jump off, and then a plane drops them a raft so they can F and F. That means float and fuck. But no, sorry, not actually that. The airplane then pulls them up.
So it's still a F and F, a fly and fuck.
A fly and fuck, exactly.
Yeah,
that's where the movie ends.
We're up in the air now. How do we get down?
So the movie that's that. Movie's over. Goodbye, everybody. You've just been fucked to death.
James Bond will return.
All right, everybody. We've been through a lot under this sea cove.
Under the sea.
But what are our final thoughts? What are we thinking about Thunderball? Do you want to go first or me?
I'll go first this time. I think I made you go first last time. This one definitely could be seen in some ways as a bit of a step down from the just delirious heights of the last two movies. But I don't necessarily ascribe to that viewpoint. The stunts are great. The cinematography is fun. The way it was sort of cobbled together kind of creates its own weird mood that is more or less unique in the Bond canon to me, and I would maybe give it a 4 out of 5, but just the satisfaction of especially Domino harpooning Largo to just put the perfect bow on it.
It is good that it's a harpoon. It's not a bullet.
Right. It's very aquatic.
Because he's a whale.
I'm going 5 out of 5.
Damn! My God.
5. I'm Thunderballs out.
Wow. Okay, I think this is one that might work better if you just like catch 45 minutes on TV of it than watching it front to back. Last night when I watched it, it was the third time I had seen it. It was by far the most I had enjoyed it because now I understood the plot and I knew like this one is we are going for excess. We are going for big. Every single thing in the movie is going to be blown the hell out. And I do like movies like that. 3.5 stars. Out of 5. And we're at the beginning of our journey. We could be deep in the Roger Moore movies. And I was like, what was I thinking giving Thunderball only 3.5 stars? Mm-hmm. But I just remember having more fun with the Roger Moore movies than I did with this one. Fair enough. I appreciate this more than I'm like having a great time while I'm watching it. But so many individual things about it are great. I think it's really well directed. And Sean Connery is incredible. This might be the best he is so far now, but he's having fun out there.
It's one of these middle 3 of his, isn't it? It's either From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, or Thunderball is his best performance. And I certainly could not argue with anyone who says it's Thunderball because Sean Connery single-handedly could get me through this movie if he had to. Like everything he does from See You Later, Irrigator, all the way on down to You're Glad. Everything is just...
See, you just saying the lines like, he's so good.
Yeah.
You're glad. No, it isn't, is it?
Maybe I would give it 4.5 if I were doing half stars, but I'm holding fast to my personal rule. I'm going all the way.
You're a good man.
Thank you.
Tell everybody about my podcast, 1 Week Rental with Lacey Roth and me. Every week we dive deep into a different movie. We watch it, we research it, we tell you all about it. That's on YouTube and on podcast platforms. Links in the description. Please check that out. Please check out the music that me and Wade make together. Our band is called Rural Route 9.
Rural Route 9.
RURAL. ROUTE
NINE.
And Wade has so many great music projects that you can check out, including...
You can listen to my album, Who Said That? I play with Dash Riprock. We have a new album out called A Song in Everyone. You can get that one wherever you listen to music. You can also buy it on vinyl from Dialback Sound.
I have the vinyl right behind me right here.
Check it out.
It came in the mail 2 days before the album was out.
I'm in a band called Incubators. We're putting out a record sometime, hopefully this spring. We'll have a single coming out to lead us into that. And, all the information is coming. And you know what? Thank you if you've made it this far.
And thank you, Wade, for coming with me on this journey.
Hey, you're a good man to ride the river with, Matt.
Oh, thank you. And I don't know. That was a really hard podcast to do. No, it wasn't, was it? Bye, everybody.
See you back at the lodge.